You know, I've been in the community as a participant for about 6 months now, and it's been a great ride so far. It hasn't been easy, but it's been a great ride, and I hope to keep on going with it. But over the last 2, maybe 3 months, on social media, more specifically Instagram and Twitter, I've seen a lot of arguing over whose car is better than whose. And as the last 3 months have gone by, it's become more of an everyday thing and it's become progressively worse. Now it's gotten to the point where I want to make my own car pay per view, and all of a sudden, people are having a problem with me using their car for my car show. Let me ask you people something. Why is it that people arguing back and forth on Instagram about whose car is better than whose is okay, but the second I want to do a car show to try to help unite everybody in the community, it's a problem? I'm not doing it to bash your car. I'm not doing it to bash your character. I'm not doing it to bash anybody as a person. I'm doing it to try to help unite everybody to make the game fun for everybody. Because all the arguing that was done in 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and so on has made the game less fun with each passing year. All the arguing about whose car is better than whose, it's honestly sickening. I thought this was a gaming community where people could have somewhat intelligent conversation and just have a good time playing the game without having to argue over whose character is better than whose. Because newsflash, people, nobody's car is better than anybody's. Nobody's character is better than anybody's. And at the end of the day, anybody that thinks their character is the best in the world is either lying, doesn't know what they're talking about, or still believes in the myth known as being the best in the world. Because just like in real life wrestling, the same goes for wrestling in games. There is no such thing as the best in the world. It is a myth. And this is a game. This is a video game that people like myself should be able to enjoy. That people like myself who's trying to unite the entire WWE games community should be able to enjoy. But people have become, and with all due respect, I don't mean no disrespect to nobody, but I have to say this. People are becoming so sensitive about where their character is gonna go, what show their character is gonna be on. Does it really matter what show your character is gonna be on? The point is, your character is being showcased on a show in a positive way. I'm not here to hurt your character. I'm not here to downplay your car. I'm not here to downplay your created wrestler. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've been a fan of this kind of community. And now it's gotten to the point where I almost hate being a part of it because people argue every day over the same old shit. My car's better than your car. No, my car's better than your car. Now my character is this and your character is this. La 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 la. Shut the hell up with that shit. You sound like a bunch of fucking toddlers fighting over the last cookie before nap time. And let's face facts. We all started off as fans at one point, both gamers and actual wrestlers. And without us, there would be no this. Without us uniting for there to be a this, there would not be a this. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter who I use on my show. It should not matter what cause I use to make my show good. Because think about it. Many causes have been used on many different shows. Not one person said a word. Many causes argue over the same old my character is better than your character bullshit. Nobody says a word. I try to make a show to unite everybody, which I don't see nothing wrong with, and I'm the one that gets the flack for trying to be the good guy. With all due respect, I should not have to ask to use characters that you guys put on the servers. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want your character to be used on a different show, you shouldn't put it on the servers. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, and I'm not trying to come at anybody in a foul way. But at the end of the day, as a fan of these WWE games, I feel like I have to speak up. And at the end of the day, we're all gamers, looking to have fun with other gamers and have a good time with other gamers without arguing with other gamers in the WWE gaming community over the same old, this is my style, my car's better than your car ain't shit bullshit every single fucking day. So excuse me for wanting to unite everybody. Excuse me for actually wanting to make this community a positive place to be in. And excuse me for trying to bring some kind of positivity and trying to stop the arguing between everybody over the same old bullshit every single day. Yes, I should have asked permission. It was my bad, but y'all gotta understand, I'm the new guy on the block. I don't know all the rules. I don't know all the rules when it comes to stuff like this. I just want to make a show, see if it unites everybody. If it doesn't, it'll be just a one-off show. The bottom line to all of this is this. If there's something wrong with me wanting to unite everybody, you either speak up or just shut up and let me do my thing. Because at the end of the day, all I want is to unite everybody and for everybody to get along, and that way we won't have to hear the my car is better than your car bullshit every 5 seconds. Because I see it clear as day on Instagram and on Twitter. Everybody arguing with either outsiders or within their respective clans about the same old my character is better than your character bullshit. I'm getting sick of seeing that every time I open my phone to check Instagram. Yes, admittedly, I do instigate some of it sometimes, but at the same time, I'm tired of seeing it. And at the end of the day, if we can't get along as a community, as a gaming community, there's no reason for there to be a WWE gaming community. There's no reason for there to be one. If all everybody's gonna do is argue over whose character is better than whose, there's no reason for there to be a WWE gaming community. And at the end of the day, I want to ask this. What are you going to argue over when the WWE games stop being produced for good? What's going to happen in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110 years from now when the WWE dies and no more WWE games get produced? What the fuck are you going to argue over then? The answer? Nothing. Why? Because people like you people who sit here and make complaints about me trying to unite everybody don't see the bigger picture. With all due respect, I don't see the problem with me wanting to unite everybody. I don't see the problem with me wanting to bring everybody together so we can all make the game fun for each other. Because at the end of the day, that's all I want, is to make the game fun for everybody. Everybody wants to talk about my person is better than your person and all of this. That just shows the selfishness that's in this community. That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to end. That's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to stop. Because a little backstory on me, in real life, I've been surrounded by nothing but three things my whole entire life: fighting, arguing, and drugs. Fighting and arguing more so than the drugs, but at the end of the day, it's all I've been surrounded by. And honestly, in real life, it started to take a toll upstairs, if you know what I mean. And at the end of the day, I'm tired of all the fighting. I've been tired of it for 22 years. I'll get tired of it for 22 more, and 22 more, and 22 more, and 22 motherfucking more, until you people understand that fighting on Instagram and on Twitter and pretty much anywhere else is not going to get anybody anywhere. Especially if it's going to be an everyday occurrence. If you don't have the maturity enough to stop the fucking argument for 5 seconds and just let people enjoy a damn video game, how the hell do you expect WWE gaming to survive like this? Because I'm guaranteeing right now, 10, 20 years from now, hell, maybe even 30, 40, 50 years from now, WWE is eventually going to die, and you people are going to have nothing to argue over except other important real issues in the world, because you people can't stop and think for 5 seconds and say, oh wait, we shouldn't be arguing over this, it's just a game. And that's all WWE 2K is. It's a game. A video game that people like me are trying to enjoy but can't, because all role players and all of this want to do is argue over bullshit that doesn't even fucking matter at the end of the night. At the end of the night, when you go to sleep, do you really think that that bullshit that you argued with somebody over 5, 6 hours earlier matters? You're most likely never going to see them in real life anyway. There's no reason to argue over a fucking video game. And there's really no reason to argue at all. All people want to do is enjoy the video game, be happy while doing it, and wait for the next edition of the game to come out so we can all enjoy ourselves and each other. If you can tell me what's wrong with wanting to bring people together just so we can enjoy the game for once, then maybe I'll consider not doing the show called Salvation Lies Within. And at the end of the day, I know I've said that phrase a whole clusterfuck of times in this goddamn promo, but I'll say it again and again. At the end of the day, salvation does lie within. Not just within ourselves, but within this community. And if we can't save ourselves within ourselves, how the hell are we going to save ourselves within this community? It's not just UCW. It's not just CCE, TXW, Valor, FAM, ME, URWL, NGCW, WXIW, WCSW, whatever the hell it's called. The point is, arguing over whose car is better than whose doesn't get anybody anywhere. And it makes the game less fun for those who actually want to enjoy it. What y'all need to do is stop, wait a minute, think about what the fuck you're trying to accomplish. Realize that you're not going to accomplish anything by arguing with somebody over petty bullshit, and let everybody else enjoy the game. Because you all know, just as well as I do, that if and when WWE eventually dies, and if and when the WWE games eventually stop being produced, you're not going to have anything else to fight over. You're not going to have anything else to fight over except real life petty bullshit. And even that is something that I want to stop. Even if it's just me by myself trying to stop this, so fucking be it. Because at the end of the day, again, you all need to realize what a good thing that you have here in front of you. I'm not talking about my show. I'm not talking about anybody else's show. I'm talking about in general. You people need to realize what a good thing you have in front of you. These games are the best thing that's ever going to happen to you for most of you. For more people as opposed to others, these games are going to be the highlights of your life. It'll make you feel like you've accomplished something. And with all due respect to people who I do have booked on my show that have a slight problem with it, like I said, all I'm trying to do is unite everybody. You tell me what's wrong with trying to bring everybody together and unite everybody, I won't do the show. At all. The promo will stay up, but I won't do the show. Yet. And see, the reason why is because I want to wait it out. I want to see who's going to take the first shot at me for simply trying to bring everybody together. Because at the end of the day, again, this is all we've got. For those who aren't athletically gifted enough, for those who aren't, in Matt Morgan's words, genetically jacked and athletically stacked enough to actually get into the wrestling business, the games are all we have. And more often than not, people are ruining it because of petty little arguments of who's better than who, whose character, whose car, who's this, who's that, whose hairstyle, whose look is better than the other person's. Who the fuck cares about whose character is better than whose? Who cares? I know I don't care. I've seen some great characters in my time in the community, not just as a participant, but also as a fan. I've seen great characters like Black Heron, Rombuster, Rannick, Brian the Brain, Kobe Jordan, Matthew Storm, Lido Deck, let's see, Brian Black, DJ Black, Nick Virtue, Cameron Bash, Anarchimist, Sick Indie Head, Death's Notorious Angel, MK, Roberto, Pandarino. And I'll even go as far as to say Andy motherfucking Badwall. I've seen many a great character during my time in the community, which has been about 6 months, so that makes me a rookie. But as a fan, for the last 4 or 5 years, I've seen many a great character come, and I've seen many a great character go. Most of those characters haven't come back. Others are either elsewhere where nobody else can find them, or are just taking a break from it because of all the petty bullshit that happens in the community today. And that has happened for the last 5 years, if not longer. And that's why I'm doing this promo. That's why I'm shooting straight from the hip. Because none of you get it. All I want to do is bring everybody together. If you can tell me what's wrong with wanting to bring everybody together, I will not do the show at all. If you can't tell me what's wrong with wanting to bring everybody together, then the show will go on as planned with the people who are booked on it, and it's out of my hands after that. Because at the end of the day, it's not a real life wrestling promotion. As much as you want it to be, it isn't. And it never will be. This is a video game. This is a gaming community where people like me want to enjoy ourselves and not have to go on Instagram and Twitter and see all the bullshit arguing over whose character is better than whose. Because at the end of the day, it isn't worth it. Arguing over whose character and whose this and that is better than the next person's, it's not worth it. No matter who controls which show, no matter who's the world champion of which show, it doesn't make a difference. None of it is worth it, especially if the games stop being produced altogether and nobody has anything to argue about anymore. You all know just as well as I do that this is all we have, especially if we're not the most athletically gifted people in the world. See, me, I've been passionate about wrestling since I was 3 years old. The first match I ever saw was when Stone Cold helped Mankind win the WWE title from The Rock. Ever since then, I was hooked on wrestling. And then when I bought my first wrestling video game, I was more hooked than ever. I said to myself, I want to be a part of this someday. And over the last couple of years, I've thought to myself, if I'm not the most athletically gifted guy, I'm damn sure gonna try to be just like these guys I see on YouTube. Just like FAM, just like Valor, just like RTW, just like UCW, just like URWL, CCE, TXW, all these other clans all over the world. Because if I'm not athletically gifted enough, to put on a show for the people in the real world, then I might as well do the best I can to put on the best show I can for people in the gaming world. And try to bring everybody together in the process so that we can all together make the game fun for everybody. So in closing, again, I ask, what is wrong with me wanting to bring everybody together? What is wrong with me wanting to unite everybody so that we can all enjoy the game together? If you can tell me that, salvation lies within won't happen. If you can't, it'll happen as planned. And, well, I'll catch the heat for it later. Because at the end of the day, again, having petty arguments over who's better than who in the gaming world just isn't worth it. Why? Because it's just a game. And to quote Lemmy Kilmister, God rest his soul, it's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about control and if you can take it. My question is, are people going to be able to take control of themselves long enough so that everybody in the WWE gaming community can enjoy playing the game? Or are we just going to have to be subjected forever to all the petty bullshit arguing over stuff that doesn't matter in the real world? You decide that for yourselves. Me, I'm just going to wait to see what kind of shitstorm is going to happen. As if a shitstorm hasn't happened already. I say this one last time. At the end of the day, arguing over a video game is not worth it. Because it's nothing compared to the problems that we all have to face in the real world. We use gaming as our route of escape from reality. But when the game goes off, it's back to the real world. See, if all this gaming clans and everything with the wrestling and all of that, if this was real, do you know how much more people would want to be a part of it? Because I know for a fact that if FAM or Valor or UCW or any other of these wrestling clans were real, I would be first in line at every single tryout, just waiting to get in, just waiting to be a part of something that matters. If this was real, if this FAM and all of this UCW, Valor stuff, if all of it was real life, I would be at the front of every single line, waiting for a tryout to be a part of it. Because wrestling is something that I'm willing to die for, whether it be in-game, via storyline, or in real life, for real, non-kayfabe style. I'm willing to die for this, on purpose. Owen Hart's death was a tragic accident. God rest his soul. We miss you, Owen, and we hope you're watching down on us. But me, I'm willing to die for this on purpose if I have to. Because if I'm never gonna be a WWE wrestler in real life, then it just comes down to, will I have to die for the WWE gaming community for people to understand that arguing over petty bullshit every single day is not worth it. It doesn't matter if you're a PlayStation player or if you're an Xbox player. We are all one united community. And if you don't like being a part of this community, especially because you're in it with somebody like me who wants to bring everybody together in unison so that we can all enjoy it, do what the WWE did in 2002 and get the F out. Because I'm sick and tired of the arguing and fighting over the petty bullshit. And deep down, every last car in this community is tired of it just as much as I am. So again, I implore you to ask yourself this. What are you going to be able to argue about if and when WWE dies and the games stop being produced? You decide what you're gonna argue over. Me? I'm just gonna sit back and let all the puzzle pieces fall into place. And nobody's gonna have a damn thing to argue about, because I may be a rookie as a participant in the community, but I know that I am right. Again, I didn't know the rules of the whole community when I first got in. I didn't know that I had to ask, and I'm sorry, alright? I just wanted to create a good show to bring everybody together. But I don't see the big deal in wanting to use characters for my show when, again, a whole century from now, none of this is gonna matter. No matter how big of a legacy anybody has, a century from now, a millennium from now, none of this is going to matter. So you guys have to stop, think for 1 second, and ask yourself, is arguing over a video game really worth it? Is arguing over a video game really worth it? Because if it is worth it, by all means, proceed with arguing. But just know, people like me are not going to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to sit for it. But I'm also not going to keep on losing sleep over everybody else's bullshit arguing over a video game and over the characters they create in said video game. So all of you, again, ask yourselves, what are you gonna argue over if and when the WWE games stop being produced? Ask yourself that. And when you come to a unanimous decision on what you're gonna do and what you're gonna argue about if and when the WWE games stop being produced for good, you let me know. Alright? You let me know when you're gonna stop arguing over bullshit. And I will be right here in little old Staten Island, New York City, waiting for an answer, waiting for somebody to speak up and offer a rebuttal to what I'm saying right now. Because at the end of the day, again, arguing over who's better than who in a video game isn't worth it and won't be worth it when it's all gone. And when it's all gone, you ain't gonna have shit to argue about. So think about that. Think about that long and hard. Because trust me, I've thought about it for 6 whole months. See, the community, it's like the real wrestling business. As an outsider, as a fan, you only know but so much. But as an insider, as a participant, as a superstar, you learn and know more than you ever thought you could. And you start to see more than you ever thought you would see. And honestly, what I see is a bunch of people, well, mostly a bunch of people who don't want the games to go on forever. Me, I want the games to go on forever. I want to be able to enjoy the games without having to wake up to arguing all over social media about whose character is better than the other. Who cares? It's a game. And at the end of the day, it's all about the game and how you play it. And if you're just going to sit there and argue with somebody over whose character is better than whose, do like I said, get the F out. Because negativity is not needed in this community or in any other. Whether it be in the NBA community, whether it be in the Call of Duty or Halo or Gears of War or God of War community, it does not matter. Negativity is not needed. People like me, who's been hella negative as of late, uses gaming as a way to escape negativity. But it seems like over the last few months, with all due respect again, all I wake up to on Instagram and Twitter is nothing but negativity and nothing but arguing. It's time for us to stop and evaluate ourselves. Figure out what we're doing wrong as a community and try to bring each other together in unison. Figure out what we need to do to change the way that this community operates, so that way we can all enjoy being a part of something as special as this. So again, before I get out of here, I have to ask this question. What's wrong with me wanting to bring everybody together? What's wrong with me wanting to unite everybody so that we can all, as a community, enjoy the games that are distributed to us? If somebody can come up with a good, solid answer, I won't do Salvation Lies Within. But deep down, everybody in the community feels the exact same way I do. It's just too bad that they won't accept it.